Hi, friends. Welcome to the PHP. A booker. That would be Perez. What are you smiling at?
I am smiling because I'm excited to do this show and give it to our viewers and listeners. And we don't take a week off, even if there's a holiday. We are committed to this and committed to you and committed to growing it. So help us grow it. All right.
Well said. Well said. What's
All
coming
right.
up? A lot of Britney?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Handle yourself today.
Handle
Okay.
myself? All right.
Last week, when talking Britney, So, yes, we will be talking about Britney because things are just, it's hard to describe the chaos going on right now
Mhm.
surrounding Britney Spears. We'll get to that. Some wildness with Angelina Jolie and The Weeknd. Oh,
Really?
oh, yeah. Also, this Bill Cosby release from prison has got everybody riled up. In more legal news, even more insanity from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane. Also, we'll get into the drama with that U.S. Olympic athlete Shakari Richardson testing positive for weed and Madonna disappointing me, plus more. But
Uh,
first, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. All is good.
I will save it for my vlog
Okay.
because I'm not doing well. But
What's wrong with you?
oh God, so much. We don't need to get into it.
Really?
You always
Okay.
get annoyed when I get into it.
I get
Um,
annoyed if it's not interesting.
well,
That's the only time I get annoyed. If it's interesting, I'm all in on it.
well, a few things. First, I was telling my therapist this last night. I said, I don't think I've experienced this thus far in 2021. I told him it in my bones, it feels like I just spoke to you yesterday. And he said, wow, that's just because you just have not had a moment to breathe or to even think about your self-care or anything. And look at me right now. If you, for those watching, look at what's by my bedside. Like a can of
It's
Coca-Cola.
for a little context, it's 8 a.m. This is
Oh,
what you should have, your normal cup of coffee, which that's your routine. But
I
a
know.
can of Coke at 8 a.m.
I haven't even had my magic spoon. I love my magic spoon. You guys need to get your magic spoon. This really is magical cereal, let me tell you, because it cuts out all of the caca and it keeps all of the yumminess.
Hmm.
Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, and just 140 calories per serving. And don't just take my word for it. I love that the listeners and viewers of our show make friends with other listeners and viewers. And a lot of you guys have bought this. Ask your fellow PHP family what they think of it and pick it up for yourself because it comes with a 100% happiness guaranteed. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Go to magicspoon.com/Perez to grab your delicious cereal today. That's magicspoon.com/Perez and use the code Perez to save $5 off the amazing variety of Magic Spoon that comes in flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, and cinnamon. And today I'm excited also because I'm going to try something new. Boom! I just tried something new for those watching.
Wow, mind blown.
I know. I'm kind of editing the show as we go along. We
Hmm.
started off doing it in speaker mode, which I also liked also because
Yeah.
last week we did that for the first time, but I guess people like watching us at the same time. So I'm kind of editing as we go along. Anyways, I just have barely slept and it feels like the world is attacking me and it's okay. My life does not suck. I am blessed and I am very strong and we're doing this, which is a great escape from everything. But there's one thing that we cannot escape that I'm excited to discuss briefly-ish with you,
Okay.
maybe like 2 minutes or however long, because I haven't really shared my thoughts on this anywhere. For those of you who don't live in Los Angeles, we were just told this new suggestion, a guidance that because of this new Delta variant of COVID, that everybody should be wearing masks like while grocery shopping or at the at the movie theater, even if you're fully vaccinated. Translation: you're asking me to be kind and considerate for the anti-vaxxers? Why the fuck should I care about the anti-vaxxers?
Well, we're supposed to care about the better of man. That's your
Fuck
answer.
that shit. Everybody can. Everybody.
You know I don't disagree with you. You know I don't disagree with you. These dipshits have had every opportunity to take the solution. The answer is right in front of you. I don't know what to say to you, but there is a variant out there that is very dangerous and
highly transmissible.
Right. It's
I don't think it's any more. I don't think it's any more dangerous than like regular COVID. It's just a lot easier to spread.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm going to kill my neighbor's dog in a second. That might be my dog. Hey, Kel, if that's our dog, go kill it. You're killing me. I'm kidding, of course.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're kidding. I'm only kidding.
I love my puppy. Are you kidding me?
Anyways, I'm so annoyed by that. But, you know, if I have to, I will. I want us to be back to normal already. I want Britney to be back to normal as well. And unfortunately, it seems like that's unlikely to happen anytime soon. So much has happened since our last show. And I'm sure even in the day after we record, before this is made public to everybody, there will be even more developments. So I want to start off by talking about one of the things that surprised me the most, which is the response that seemingly the majority of people had to Britney Spears' sister speaking out. Did you watch or read what Jamie Lynn Spears had to say?
I did.
You did? All right. Do I need to read it for people or?
Quick, if you don't need to read it, maybe just quick summary. She spoke.
Blah, blah,
she
blah.
said,
I love my sister, blah, blah, blah. I always looked up to her, blah, blah, blah. I've only ever been involved as her sister, which I don't think that's true. There was a point in time where she was working with the trust. So her credibility is a little bit shaky.
God, here we go. It's more of this conspiracy.
No, it's not conspiracy. This was a legal thing. They put her name on this thing. It's not. Why are you?
Okay.
You're the conspiracy person. I'm giving you information based on what we know.
She said her piece, and if you read between the lines, it just confirms everything. It's all right. All the information is right there. If you can't deduct what is going on from what she said and what her father had said and the things that she said in court, if you can't paste them all together to realize there's something other than freeing this girl from some tower that people have put her in, acting like she's trapped for some reason, you guys are all buying into some weird fairy tale. You really are. It's so obvious at this point.
Well, no, I don't agree with that.
It's completely obvious.
I can acknowledge when I'm wrong. I was saying what you were saying a while ago on this show. And then now we've heard from Britney herself.
It doesn't matter. You're hearing from somebody that has something going on. My God, Perez, what if she's bipolar?
There are a lot of bipolar people that are not in a conservatorship.
Right. Okay. But she is. Why is the reason that she is?
Are we going to have like a repeat of last
We
week's
definitely
podcast?
don't need that. But I'm
No, I
just
don't
saying
want
all
that.
of this at this point is obvious. It's crystal clear. The
Yes,
things you're saying out there are
listen, nobody is denying that Britney has had mental health issues. That's not.
had. So you think she doesn't anymore? They just went away. Like someone took an eraser to them because she spoke lucidly in court for
All right,
5 minutes.
semantics. Britney still has mental health issues.
We don't know that either, by the way.
Oh my God.
I can deduct that she probably does.
That's why I said how I said.
said.
Britney has had mental health issues. I'm going to be you. I don't know what she has right now.
Next point. You're right. Go ahead.
Anyways, I believe that she loves her sister. The one thing that really stuck out like a sore thumb that I think was a mistake was when she said, "I've made a very conscious choice in my life to only participate in her life as her sister and as an aunt to those boys." She lied there. So that
only means you're going with semantics. She's saying from this point, maybe before that, yes, maybe she had some business. Maybe there was another part of this that she had a part in that was in unison with her family. And she decided at some point, because of everything that happened, or she wasn't qualified to deal with any of this stuff, she said, I'm going to put myself on the bench and I'm going to let the professionals and the courts and everybody handle this. And I'm just going to say, I love my sister very much. That doesn't mean that she didn't do this in the past. That's all. That's all it means.
Listen, the big takeaway is the majority of people
are idiots, because that's what I would
stop using that word.
With.
No,
I would say they're idiots.
The majority of people are really fired up about this, and I get that. But, and this is where I see both sides to everything. Okay, people are fired up. They're upset. They feel like Britney is being abused. Her own words.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, even maybe most, are crossing a line. Like, I've seen people that I know going on like Twitter and saying the most degrading, awful, hurtful things about Jamie Lynn Spears,
mm-hmm.
about the family. And it's like, why do you think you have the whatever word it is to describe it, everybody has the ability, but how are you making things better by dragging her sister through the mud? And
when is that the job of the internet, to make things better? I'm going to go back to something very poignant you said last week. There must always be a villain. Every time there's a screen in front of you and a bunch of other dopes echoing stupid shit, people pile on to that.
I know.
Welcome to the internet, bro. I mean, that's, you know that.
But, and like, I've been going through this myself, it's like, and I'll take myself out of it. These are real people. Okay. And attacking Jamie Lynn Spears and attacking her mother as well. Like,
Perez, that makes sense. Online, no one's a real person. I've said it a million times. It's a fake world with fake plot lines. It's like a soap opera that unfolds daily where nothing in it is factual. The facts are everything that I said last week over and over. Nobody knows. The story should be over, but there's emotion attached to this.
That's what I said. People are fired up.
Right. And they should stop. And at some point, you have to say to these people, you guys, you're fucking morons. All of you. The facts are this. You should just stop. There's clearly something going on that you'll never have the answer to just because someone spoke. You don't know the backstory. So let's just go, hey, let's wish everyone the best. That's not what the internet does, though. That would be the most boring soap opera ever. You live in the soap opera world. Look how invested you are. You're tired. You don't need to be anything. You could take yourself right out of this at any moment. Stop tweeting about it. Stop talking to the fans. You don't need to be talking to these people.
I'm not
Stop doing
talking to
interviews
them.
about. Okay, well, you're interacting with them.
I barely checked Twitter or anything
Well,
to be interacting with them. I
you're a
still pulled
participant in
back.
this. You're a foil in this, and you got to accept your part in this. You're a participant. You want to be. You think it's
Anyways,
good for you. That's all.
no, I truly believe Britney should be free. That's what I believe. I'm one of the fools,
Well,
I
I
guess. One
truly
of the
believe that you're a fool for having any opinion on this other than you don't know. And let's hope doctors and her family can sort this out. Outside of that is like, it's kind of like loserish at this point.
Then you're calling Senator Elizabeth Warren a loser.
She's a representative of the people. If the people bring to her something, she probably has to.
No, the people didn't bring to her. She's bringing this forward herself.
You don't think that the people have probably tweeted her or other politicians?
And also, what's interesting is this is a bipartisan effort as well. That awful Matt Gaetz from Florida has been inviting Britney Spears to testify in front of Congress. Do you think he's a fool in all of that as well?
I think you know my answer to that question.
I mean, I think he's actually just trying to make himself look better. And I don't think he really cares about Britney Spears, perhaps. But then people could say the same thing about me. So you don't really know people's intentions unless you are those people. Speaking of Jamie Lynn, she has turned off all of the comments on Instagram, as has her mother. And Lynn Spears has not posted anything in over a week. Going back to what I said, this is affecting her family in so many ways,
Can I ask now, what is her, what does she do online? Is she an active participant? Does she do Britney stuff?
She's a regular mom. No, she posts regular stuff.
Okay, so she's just not posting her regular every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Did she communicate with fans prior to this? Was she running like a fan site, or was there any? It wasn't commerce. It was really just pop star mom.
Regular mom.
Okay.
She didn't even have that many. Doesn't even have that many followers. I think like less than 50,000. Anyways, Britney, I think might be back by now. I think is back in the area of greater Los Angeles where she lives, but she went on vacation. We touched on that last week, and there was even drama on vacation. Listen, some of these fans are conspiracy theorists because for days, some of these fans were convinced, and maybe it's true, but maybe it's not true. They were analyzing the content that Britney was sharing on her Instagram, saying, "Oh, that's from another trip. That's an old video, or that's an old photo, or whatever." What?
Like it's the Zapruder film.
I don't even know what that is.
Yes, you do. It's the Kennedy assassination with the grainy video that they watch over and over with the magic bullet bouncing around. That's the Zapruder film.
All right. What I do know is Britney really did go on vacation. Her boyfriend, and actually this is an issue of possible concern. Her boyfriend kept posting photos and video in real time, and not just like on the beach, but posting photos and videos of like the compound, the resort they were at. I don't know anything about the boyfriend. Seemingly from the outside, he seems like a nice guy. She allegedly, according to her, wants to marry him and have kids, but he is very social media happy, which I think we've discussed before. And he might want to consider toning that down a bit. Like, I get it being normal, and that's fine, be normal, but then also you have to consider her safety, because
you got to understand what's going on as well. Are you being an opportunist in this situation? If you're an intelligent person, you're not posting anything. Your level of concern for her and even yourself should be that we need privacy at this moment. Now that, to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, does this guy have other reasons to do this? Is he, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Because that's how it reads to me. I wouldn't post a damn thing if I was in this situation.
I don't know. I understand his desire to be normal, and not only his desire to be normal, his need to make money. So, growing his social media is a way for him to earn income because he doesn't want to have to, quote, be dependent on Britney.
Yeah.
He does posts brand deals. Like, I think he did some stupid teeth whitening thing or whatever I saw, shirtless, of course. Smart, get that engagement with a shirtless teeth whitening thing. So I respect that. I could see both sides.
Okay. All right. I mean, that is fair. That was his job prior to being with Britney, right?
Yeah, well, he was a model and a personal trainer. So I respect that he's wanting to grow his social media because he wants to make money because he doesn't want to just be a leech or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said,
this is leechish behavior, if you ask me, because if you can't read the room of what's happening at this moment with her and the world, and you still feel the need to promote, look at me, putting yourself above this enormous story, this is leech-like behavior. Calling it as I see it. Sorry.
Well, anyways, Britney likes him a lot. And I'll say what I've said before in case you've forgotten. I remember this. I think it's better for Britney to be with not Mr. Prince Charming, Mr. Perfect, but with Mr. Good Enough than to be alone. I think. So, do you disagree with that?
I don't know. I mean, I would have to know. Are there any intentions here? Look, for what you just told me, I'm a little skeeved out and creeped out by the guy because if you don't have the sense to read the room of everything that you just said, and I know that's why you presented this, that's what you're thinking deep down underneath all of this.
I said red flag. I said that.
Okay. It bothers me. That bothers me. But I overall, I guess I agree with your sentiment. Sure.
Yeah.
You don't want anyone to be alone. It's nice
especially
to
her,
have someone to lean on.
Especially her because she's, isolated from the world.
Yeah.
Isolated from her friends, alienated from her family, not spending that much time with her kids. Everybody else is on the payroll. So she's like that song of hers, Lucky. She's so lucky. She's a star, but she cries. And she's like Rapunzel locked in the tower. It's really, truly, truly sad.
Listen, I've said that before with Bieber. I've said that before with Michael Jackson. I think a lot of this stuff, no one in the world could possibly understand what these people have went through or go through. And then you attach all of this other dressing on top of this turkey. It's got to be weird, man. It's just got to be weird.
All right. And now that was just like mild. Now things are really taking like a hard left. Britney's dad, Jamie Spears, which I did not know this. You told me this because, honestly, like I have not been on my A game the last few weeks. I've been like a dog in the ocean, just trying not to drown. But still, even when I'm not on my A game, my like A- is still super solid and awesome. So even at my worst, I still give you excellence.
Here's what happens with Perez, and I can sum you up because I know you.
What?
You dive into the hole, right? And you're like a dog. You just keep digging down into the same hole. Okay, now your job is to kind of not be in the hole, to understand what's going on in the hole, but you got to be outside bird dog and everything else that's happening. Like what else is happening in this story? Problem with you is you get sucked into the hole because you like what's down there. I got to get to the bottom. My bone's at the fucking bottom. That is how you operate.
Well, yeah, I'm a very extreme person. Like
True, right.
Anyways.
But I believe that sways your bias at times because you just keep digging in one direction instead of coming back out. And I think that's the role that I have on this show.
You're not listening to me. I think even on this podcast, on today's show, I've been able to present both sides to every topic we've discussed. on
Okay.
my own organically because I wanted to.
Get back to your point about the RV. Come on, let's get
Yes,
to it.
I was getting to it. I haven't been on my A game, so I didn't know this, but yes, the New York Times reported that Britney's father is living in an RV, a trailer. And you know what? I, oh God, like I might get trouble for this, but I don't care. I read a little tidbit also that he's clearly not the perfect person. Nobody is. But I read that he's got a business. You know, he's got like a little catering business that he does. So he is working, you know, just putting that out there. That's something that's commendable. He's not totally just living off of Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a
Jake,
good point. That is a good point that you make. A lot of people are like, you're worried about her and the money. And I think a lot of people are saying, the money's a big part of this, like protecting her money. And that's what this conservatorship is about, protecting her money from people. Who was the guy? Was his name Sam
oh
Luthy or
God,
something? Okay,
yes.
so this is a perfect example.
Let's not mention him.
No. Let's do that because this is kind of the point of maybe that's why there is this conservatorship in place, because there are unsavory people with bad intentions on the planet. And
Well,
when you're not always on, let's just call it your A game, as you say, when you're not on your A game as an artist or watching the store, they could take advantage of you. Hence, and then all of your money is gone. Now, I know all of these Free Britney people are like, just let her have her money, let her do whatever she wants. Well, what are you going to say, you Free Britney morons? What are you going to say if, okay, let's let her have it. And then all of a sudden, some unsavory type comes in
or a shady lawyer,
whomever fleeces the shit out of her. What are you going to say? Because here's my prediction, all you morons, you're going to say this: how come someone didn't do something? Why didn't someone see this? Why didn't someone help? The point is, to you people, someone is helping. Someone in her family stood in and said, hey, we just saw this happen with this unsavory fuck. All
right,
let's not let this happen again. That is my point to all of this.
Let's not rehash last week. All right.
No, that's not to do with last week. I think that's a new point of view. Taking someone that has maybe taken advantage of her. I don't know the story. I really don't. Oh, yeah, I know you don't like this person.
She claims that he did. And all outsiders perceive that to be true. I'm not saying that happened because for legal reasons.
I'm not either. I just recall the story. But, that's it. I don't even know the details.
I do think she's still got a restraining order against him. Anyways, I agree that, and I've said this before, the conservatorship was really, I think, needed at the beginning, but change is needed now because it's not working well, I think. Anyways, Britney's dad claims that he's not been involved in her personal conservatorship for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. And now we're seeing this back and forth between Britney's dad through his lawyers and the conservator and her lawyers going back and forth. Jody Montgomery denying that, she's preventing Britney from doing anything. If Britney wants to get married or have a baby, she can. So then how did we end up here where Britney has an IUD and thinks that she can't do these things? It's confusing. And
can I just offer one thing that I got from one of our listeners who is a doctor about that very point? Because someone gave me shit. I don't even know why. You asked, what do I think about her having an IUD? Or I said, I don't know. That's a doctor question. And I believe I even said a woman should be able to do, like, I don't even have an opinion on that, but still someone like, saying I'm victim blaming her. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, anyhow, the doctor said this: if you are on medication for, let's say you're bipolar and you're on a medication for this, you can't get pregnant taking this medication because of the danger to the mother, not only the baby, but to the mother. These are very, I'm not saying she's on anything, for the record, but for people that are on drugs like this, There is a reason you take birth control, because you can't get pregnant while you're on these drugs. It's very, very, very dangerous. And a doctor, a medical professional explained it. Something that I didn't even think of. Once again, I didn't even want to go down the hole, but I just wanted to make that point.
I didn't know that either.
Sometimes there's a common sense answer is all that I'm saying. And some people are saying, well, they're stopping her right from whatever. And it may not be the case. It may not be the whole story. And once again, I don't know if that's the story, but that is a very, very logical explanation to me.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, this Jody Montgomery is a licensed social worker, the woman that's been Britney's conservator since 2019. And she claims that, Jamie is still in charge of her finances and that affects everything and blah, 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 blah. And now the co-conservator, this trust, this is like what rich people do. They have, sounds like a scary concept. Like super rich people have other people manage all their money. This thing called the Bessemer Trust has pulled out as co-conservator. And once again, more shadiness. The Bessemer Trust, which has been working as the co-conservator, they claim they were under the impression that Britney, as her own lawyer had said in court, once again, shady lawyer.
Oh, God. Please stop.
It is. That lawyer is shady. The co-conservator, the Bessemer Trust, says they were under the impression that Britney was in this conservatorship voluntarily. That's also what her lawyer said in court. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's what the lawyer said in court last year. And now in 2021, we're hearing differently from Britney Spears. So
from Britney.
Yeah, from Britney. The person affected by all of this. Anyways, let's keep it moving.
So I'm just saying there's no possibility that maybe she doesn't have the capacity to understand.
Oh, God.
Back to my point, like a lot of people, Perez sending out all this clickbait Twitter stuff. My podcast partner, whatever, believes. I'm like, what a bunch of clickbait.
You do believe that.
No. I only said one thing that I only said one thing that I did not believe. I believe that at some point, someone probably told her that she could get out of the or she could file to get out of the conservatorship. I just find it hard to believe that a Kim Kardashian didn't tell her that. All of the people online, come on. I find that hard to believe. I find it more easily to believe that maybe somebody said something and she didn't understand what was being said, because all this Lego mumbo jumbo is just that. It doesn't make a lot of sense, even to a normal person.
Listen, I heard and was carefully paying attention to everything you said in the clips. So everything that I messaged was based literally on what you said. I never put words in your mouth.
Clickbait.
I poured over what you said because I did not want to incorrectly quote you. So
he clickbaited me, folks.
I did not clickbait you.
You did.
You said everything.
Thank God nobody cares.
You said everything. Anyways, Britney's ex-husband, Kevin Federline, wants her to have a psychiatric evaluation before the conservatorship ends, according to K-Fed's lawyer, which is something that Britney does not want. And listen, I think I'm a pretty sensible person. Why are you laughing?
That sentence alone is the funniest thing on the podcast. I don't think you're a sensible person. I think everything that I've presented is nothing but logical. No. And I think most of the callers and listeners will, unless they're a dope, will attest to that.
No, I think you're cold, lacking compassion, and uncaring.
No, I'm definitely compassionate. I think I have more compassion when it comes to this topic than anybody, because I'm the only person that has enough sense to tell all of these dopes.
Stop calling them dopes. They're not dopes. They're concerned people.
Dopes. Anyways,
I think I know I'm a very sensible person.
Keep digging, buddy. Keep digging. You'll get to that bone eventually.
So I am actually in agreement with Kevin Federline. I think it's absolutely acceptable and should happen that there is an evaluation before the conservatorship ends.
I am just joshing. I just would like to say I agree with you, and I agree with him. That's true.
So I don't think that's a wild or crazy thing.
It is not.
Wild and crazy, though, is Angelina Jolie and The Weeknd. But first, do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. And I bet it could be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
Would you like to change screen angles for the record?
I did while you were talking already.
Oh, look at you.
So
He's a director, folks.
I'll change it again. All right. I don't know what I do know what to make. I'm excited by this. I love it. Angelina Jolie was spotted out on a dinner date with The Weeknd. That's it. That's the story. It's odd for many reasons because when I think of Angelina Jolie and the type of guy that I see her with, I see her going after like a commissioner at the United Nations that volunteers with children, or a doctor who's curing cancer or something like that. Like, she's done the actor thing in the past and she's removed herself from that world for the most part. She's still an actress. She's in that Eternals movie, but she doesn't go to premieres. She's not going to events. She lays low and lives a quiet life and is all about her kids and her charity work. And The Weeknd is like this big, relevant pop star. But you know what? At the end of the day, there's one thing that, most entertainers have in common. They love attention. So on some level, Angelina Jolie going out on a date and maybe even dating The Weeknd makes sense because they love attention.
Can I ask, were there any details of this date? Meaning, were they in a
It was at a restaurant. No, it was at a restaurant. Yeah.
Two people, though. Or was it a party of people and those two happened to be in the party? That would be the question I would ask, because I'm rooting for this. I want it to be two people. I want them to be on a date, and I want to kind of hope that there's a relationship ensuing.
Let me confirm. I don't want to.
That's okay. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. But I would want to know that. I want to know.
I think it was just the two of them. It could have been for business. We don't know.
That's boring.
I know. I mean, it might have been for business. I think it was just the two of them. I'm looking this over and I don't think people know, but that makes me think it was just the two of them.
Yeah.
Because
of course it could be business. I mean, he could be one of these people that wants to get more involved with life issues, social issues, and who better to talk to about that?
I've got to go to this one restaurant that they were at because there's always celebrities there. It's Rihanna's favorite restaurant in Los Angeles. It's Giorgio Baldi in Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been there?
I don't know.
It's an Italian restaurant. Anyways, I'm all for it. I ship it. And I think their kids would love it too. Like, oh my God, The Weeknd is now our stepdad, especially because like they're teenagers and he's cool. He's got like cred. Anyways, there's that story. On to a real layered story now. Please forgive me if I get this wrong. I already said her name earlier in the show, but I do not watch television. So if I mispronounced it, it was not intentional. Shakari Richardson, is that how you pronounce her name?
I don't even know who you're speaking of.
That Olympic track and field star from the United States. Shakari Richardson. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anywho, you're not familiar with the story yet?
Hmm.
Okay. So she was set to compete in the Tokyo Games in, I think it was the 100-meter race. But unfortunately, she was tested for drugs and she came back positive for marijuana, which is against the rules. And there's a possibility that she could face a 4-year suspension, but that's unlikely. There's another possibility that she could face a 3-month suspension if she can prove or convince the authorities that taking marijuana was not to enhance her performance, which, hello,
taking marijuana will make you want some Cheetos and sit on your couch. It's not going to make you faster.
Exactly. And if she agrees to take part in this like drug intervention program,
right,
it could be just 4 weeks, which would make her eligible to still compete in one of the
qualifying events.
No, not qualifying. In one of the races in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Not the 100, not the solo one, but I think she's still eligible to do like a team one, which is later on during the Olympics. She gave an interview to the Today Show explaining what happened, and she revealed, and she had spoken about this previously, that, you know, her biological mother, she had found out that her biological mom died while she was at these trials, while she was competing. And that was very traumatic for her, and she didn't know how to cope and process, so she smoked weed. All right, here's my thoughts on everything. Times change, rules should change. However, there should be a process for changing rules, and rules shouldn't just be changed like that. My thoughts are, unfortunately, I think the rules are the rules, but they should use this as an opportunity to reevaluate the rules, because I would think that the majority of people agree that marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug.
Right.
And it's also legal in many places.
Yeah.
And in the state where the Olympic trials were at for her, it was legal in that state. So she also wasn't breaking the law. She was just breaking the rules of the sport. And it almost reminds me of that Naomi Osaka thing. You know, the rules are you have to, or the expectation or the obligation, what is expected of you is you have to do these press conferences. Okay, if you don't want to do them, or if all players don't want to do them, change that. But they're not changed yet. So
yeah, you got to abide by the rules. Tough cookie.
Yeah, that sucked. All right, on to Bill Cosby. He was released from prison after serving some time. Not enough time, I think. But I'm a very sensible person, and I have to agree with his lawyer for my understanding of what happened. And I did spend some time poring over all of this because it is a little complicated.
It is, for sure.
This is my unexpert, not lawyer understanding of everything. More than a decade ago, this woman, Andrea Constad, was involved in a civil case against Bill Cosby. And the DA, and the reason that happened was because there was a different district attorney at the time, and that DA didn't think they had enough information to get a conviction against Bill Cosby. So they encouraged and helped or pushed this civil case to try to get at least some money for the woman. And the DA at the time said they would not try Bill Cosby So as a result of that, Bill Cosby then testified. And then,
well, they said if he did testify, they promised not to try him down the line.
exactly. There you go. All right. Like I said, I don't fully remember I wasn't living it. I wasn't there. It's hard to explain for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then all these years later, there's a new DA who tried him, probably could have gotten a conviction.
Yeah.
But for some reason entered into evidence that prior testimony
Mm-hmm.
that Bill Cosby gave in that civil case. And that's apparently what messed
they
everything
used
up.
the information against him that he gave to them under the guise that it would never come up again. That was the rules. That was the deal. Supposedly it was never in writing. And how would you even know the next person down the line if you were going to try this or go for a conviction? It's not in the paperwork, but supposedly it held up. They took it to court. The court agreed and said, look, if you said that, he can't be tried, or this evidence that he gave you can't be used against him, it can't be used against him. They put their hands up in the air and said, what are we to do? It's the deal that you made. The only weird area is that there's no paperwork. There's no paper trail. It's one person's word against all of these things that happen to these women. And you just sit there and you say, wow, how fucked up this system is. But like you said, the rules are the rules sometimes. And it sucks. It's the system let all of these women down. And that's the most unfortunate thing about this. The system got in the way of facts and truth.
I did not know. I did not know there was nothing in writing. Now I think this is really sketchy.
Nothing in writing.
What kind of lawyers agree to do something that's not in writing? That makes no sense. Well, I think enough of them
came together and said and dragged the judge into it. And the judge said, yeah, that was the deal. The lawyer said that was the deal. And, if you're looking at the literal rules and you say, well, you have a judge that agrees, the attorneys on both sides even agreed that happened. Like, what am I to do? I can't prove that it didn't happen, but that's the deal that they made. And there you go. It makes sense why he gave his testimony, because he thought it would never be used against him. It was in court. They convicted him because of this said evidence. And it's all sucky. It just sucks because the system just let everybody down.
Well, after his release, his former Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad tweeted the following: finally, all caps and like 4 exclamation marks. A terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. She is not just an actress. She's also the incoming dean of the College of Fine Arts at Howard University. Mm-hmm. And many of the students and alums were very unhappy with Felicia Rashad for tweeting that. It's wild. Like, I forget the exact number of women that have come forward making these claims against Bill Cosby, like around 50 or something like that. Like, countless women. Mm-hmm. And to me, that just says, I don't believe these women. Like, I don't know. It's just, that was a big mess up. And
look, I get supporting somebody. I do. You want to be ride or die for somebody? Cool. You got to put it in writing and throw it up on the internet. That's you make yourself a target. But on the other side of the coin, you know what? I'm really getting tired of everybody just throwing people down a staircase because they have an opinion about something. So what? That's her stupid fucking opinion. I think it's a dumb opinion. I think it's dumb of her to tweet that. And I'm willing to say that.
No, it's more than dumb. It's hurtful. It's hurtful to survivors of sexual assault.
Sure.
So there's a difference between dumb and hurtful. To me, that was hurtful. In more legal news, we talked about Erica Jane from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last week. Well, she is totally going to jail. There is no way she will out-lawyer this unless she somehow throws her soon-to-be dying 80-something-year-old husband under the bus and gives all this information. But even then, I don't know, like if I'm the DA, I'd be like, well, that dude's going to die soon anyways. Her throwing him under the bus doesn't do us any good or the victims. So let's get her for all we can. The government claims that Erica Jane is not cooperating with authorities. So not only is she going to do time, she's going to do a lot of time because she's not cooperating. They also claim that in addition to not giving them access to, her paperwork and all that stuff, that they literally claim that she used her glam, like getting hair and makeup done, to hide assets, like the millions and millions of dollars, and she's screwed. God bless her.
Let me say this. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, see how much you could save. Geico.com, easy.
All right. In more legal news, I mean, there's not much to add. This story is just, it's a cottage industry also. Did you know that, this whole NXIVM cult, there have been so many TV shows about it. People have really been riveted by it all and how it played out. And this woman, this former actress, Allison Mack, who was, the ringleader's right-hand woman, pled guilty to racketeering and conspiracy charges, and she has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. I don't know. She did cooperate. I
don't know the story, dude. I'm kind of lost on this.
You don't know the story? Oh my God.
Which one are you talking about? Is this the
sex
the
cult
prostitution?
one?
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So anyways,
you read a bunch of letters that didn't connect with me. NXVM, whatever.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it.
Oh, no. I just didn't know where we were going with it. I thought you were going to explain. I didn't realize it was the sex cult. I there's no, I don't know what it is, but I see the story often and I just keep scrolling. Like I just couldn't care less. I don't know. I don't know what it is about that one.
I was interested in it.
It's Army Hammer to me.
Yeah, I was interested in it. Well, like I said, there was multiple TV shows about it. Anyways, more legal news. Drake Bell, who last week we spoke about because he pled guilty to being inappropriate, sending inappropriate messages to a minor. He reveals that he has been secretly married for 3 years and has a baby. So I guess congratulations to him. But from Drake Bell to another former child star, Drake Bell was a Nickelodeon kid and Kyle Massey was a Disney Channel kid. He now has been charged with sending P-graphic material to a 13-year-old. This guy, Kyle Massey, claims that it's a shakedown and he's being extorted. But the government disagrees and they claim to have evidence. So he's been charged, and just unfortunate. In more legal news,
I hate legal news, for the record. We're 0 for 3 so far. I mean, these stories are draining me.
They're brief topics. We're not spending much time on them. In more legal,
well, I have nothing to add. That's why.
Yeah, I know. All right. Yeah, just updates for people. In more legal news, Andy Dick has been arrested for assaulting somebody with a deadly weapon.
Wow.
A chair. The actor and comedian claims that he was acting in self-defense. So there's that. But it's clear that he's still struggling with issues, and that's sad. I was telling this to my therapist yesterday. I said, yes, I've been drinking my Cokes and not eating my magic spoon this week, but eating everything else. But thank God I don't have a drug or alcohol addiction, because if I did, I would have been using the last week or two. And there are so many people that struggle with that, and that's just heartbreaking. So A big hug to everybody struggling. In more legal and awful news, TLC has canceled the Counting On show after the most recent arrest of family member Josh Duggar, even though he hasn't appeared on this show. I think we talked about the question: should the family suffer for what this one guy did? Child pornography. And it seems like TLC has decided, and the answer is yes.
Well, let me give you my 2 cents on a lot of this stuff and what I think is happening. And it's sort of in line with what's happening. Like The Bachelor seems to be winding down, The Bachelorette. I think a lot of these networks for years are guilty of taking situations that really aren't ideal or the norm and profiting from them. And I think as we get further down the line of society and correcting wrongs that have been done over the years, I think more and more shows with the premise that's way out there and probably not the norm aren't going to get a shot anymore. And I think this is more of that. I just think a lot of these, you like to say, problematic shows or problematic ideas of having, 42 kids and then having a reality show on top of it. I think a lot of those are being looked at differently.
But what does that have to do with The Bachelor? How is The Bachelor that awful?
Well, because you're taking 25 women and one man and, they're all naked and then there's alcohol involved and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I had no problem with it. The show was chugging along, but now they went and fucked everything up. It's no fun anymore.
I still think The Bachelor is going to keep going for a while longer. There's too much money to be made.
That's true. It's a good franchise, but boy, they just beat the fuck out of it. They just have not done a very smart job of protecting it. And
listen up, my fam, because I'm going to tell you the secret to traveling the world and never paying full price ever again. People are paying too much for flights, and the booking process is confusing. Airfare is constantly changing, and it's hard to know if a listed price is really the best deal. Flight prices go up and down by hundreds of dollars, even in the same day, so you could pay a totally different price than the person next to you for the exact same flight. However, Scott's Cheap Flights helps travelers get the best price every single time. They combine the most sophisticated technology with a team of flight experts to monitor thousands of routes on major airlines all day, every day. When prices drop, they will send you, their members, an email alert quickly, so they never miss an amazing deal. Deals like Europe for less than $300, Hawaii for less than $200, Japan for less than $300. And those are round-trip airfare tickets on quality airlines with one stop or less. At Scott's Cheap Flights, they won't send deals they wouldn't take themselves, and they don't take those kickbacks from airlines. Their only goal is to send their members great deals. So, join for free at scottscheapflights.com/Perez and never overpay for flights again. It's join for free at scottscheapflights.com/Perez.
In more controversial news, we're moving to the controversy section now.
Let's move to the let's wrap this up section soon.
All right. I think we mentioned this a while ago when it first happened. This musician, the guitarist from Mumford and Sons, came under attack for sharing
political
praise.
beliefs.
Yeah, for sharing praise about this alt-right guy, perceived to be an alt-right guy. So now the dude, Winston Marshall, has ended up and left the band, either quit or was fired. He claims to have quit. And I will tell you this, a few years from now, he will end up regretting this. He will regret it. When you're young and you're dumb, and when you have a lot of money, you're willing to die on a stupid sword. But honestly, like, getting to be a part of a really successful band where you're making a lot of money doing what you're passionate about, like that's the freaking dream.
Yeah.
I honestly, the older I get, the more I have perspective. If a TV network came along and said, we will give you a TV show based on these conditions, I'll basically say yes to anything. Like, if you can't talk politics, okay, fine. If you can only share your kids or yourself or health and wellness shit on social media, okay, fine. I will do whatever. But I don't know. I know I think he'll end up regretting it. What do you think about him leaving the band?
Maybe the band's best days are behind them. And the cool thing about it is, if he had anything to do with writing any of those songs, which he did, they can play on forever and he can continue to walk to the mailbox and get that check, because every time they perform him live, he's part of the band. He wrote the music. If they own the rights, if you can't stand these guys enough and you need to check the fuck out. I don't disagree with you though. Down the line, it is the dream. You're doing what you love to do. And at the end of the day, you think back into the music that you made and you're not out there performing it with the guys you made it with. But this has happened time and time again. It's hard business keeping a band together. It's unbelievable that some of these bands have made it as long as they've had different personalities. They clash. You're living with people. Your political beliefs start to come out. You're not in line with the other person. I mean, it must be, the next day you're with them, you got to live with them. And at some point you pull the cord and say, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. So
thankfully, like U2, they've managed to keep it together for decades.
Right.
They're like the only one. Everybody else has had major changes.
That's true. U2 has never broken up,
Everybody else has had major changes. Bon Jovi's had changes. Maroon 5 has had changes. The Killers have had changes. Paramore has had changes.
Go to the classic rockers, the Eagles. If you look at those types of bands, there's so many incarnations. Van Halen, look how many singers they plowed through. I mean, it is really hard to keep it together. It is.
Yeah. All right, more wacky news. Briefly, Kim Kardashian has been enjoying some time in Italy. She was on vacation with Kate Moss, random. I didn't even know they were friends, but a lot of people were upset that Kim went to visit the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, and she was wearing
I saw that.
This lace see-through-ish nude,
it just had like cutouts in the stomach section, and it's probably 1,000 degrees over there. Big fucking deal.
Yeah,
people are nuts.
She did address that though, to let everybody know. She said that when she went inside St. Peter's Basilica and all that she covered up. She wore a jacket. So, all right, she covered. Ooh. But let me tell you, she knew what she was doing.
Yes, of
Kardashian
course.
Is very smart. She knew she would get a global response by wearing that there.
Yeah.
How fun. How fun.
Right. Hey, this is fun. They provide us with fodder. And I like when they know that they're doing it. And I like when we see through it.
Yeah.
And I still don't care. They're willing participants. I don't. They're willing participants. I respect the hustle. I respect the game. No problem with I have no problem if she walked in topless. How about that? Don't care.
I mean, I would care if she walked in topless to the Vatican, and
I would just want to see the pictures. That's all.
Oh God. Oh God.
The Lord created that body. Come on. We need to see it.
In more wacky news, this isn't wacky. This is wonderful. Congratulations to her. But the wackiness is the response. Actress and ex-wife of Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, has revealed that she's the new mom. She welcomed a baby into the world a few months ago through surrogacy. And it just sucks to see. I went through this as well. People leaving such awful comments at such a happy time, and all you people. Anyways, wrapping it up, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, according to insiders, they were offered a title for their son Archie, but they refused it because they did not like the title that they were going to have, which is Earl of Dumbarton. They didn't like that they would give him a title that had dumb in it.
That's funny. If that is the truth, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Well done, Crown. Well done. Oh, speaking of, I like to talk about TV shows. You turned me on to that show, Hacks. I wrapped it up last night. It is fucking phenomenal, people. You gotta watch this show. Excellent TV on HBO Max, I believe. Mm-hmm. Great show. Great show. Thank you for that recommendation to whichever one of your friends turned me on to that. Fantastic.
Oh, and somebody told me that I didn't know this, but what is it? Peacock is free. I think you can get on Peacock and you don't have to pay a monthly subscription.
I think a lot of these have a free tier, and they do have a free tier. I know if you have American Express, they've got some sort of offer right now. It's like, I think they charge like $10, and American Express is like giving you $10 back for like for the first like 6 months of it. So it's essentially free. I'm probably going to get it just because it's free.
All right. Quickly, Jeff Bezos is going to space this month. Oh my God, it's already July. It's crazy. Like, oh my God. Anyways, this month. And this scares me though. Did you hear about this? Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO, he's taking this former astronaut, this woman that was supposed to go to outer space like 60 years ago, but ended up not going. Her name is Wally Funk. She's going with him. She's 82 years old. What if there's like a medical emergency? I don't know. I'm just scared for her well-being.
I heard there's a petition for him to stay in space, and a lot of people have signed it. Come on, that's funny. That's when the internet's funny, when it comes up with stupid shit like that.
You know what's even funnier? That Richard Branson, another billionaire, is going to beat Jeff Bezos to outer space.
Oh, yeah?
He just announced that he's going to outer space before Jeff Bezos. So like in a couple days or something like that.
Huh.
Crazy. More crazy. Tila Tequila, for those of you who care, she is still racist. God bless her.
Hold on. Let me look at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. There she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Meghan McCain is leaving The View, and it made me sad, like to see like just how vicious. Once again, honestly, oh my God. I talked about this in therapy. So much of what I'm seeing is like, I think, attributed or a result of 4 years of Donald Trump, and not just from the right. So many of my friends that are liberals were leaving just like the most awful comments after Meghan McCain announced that she was leaving The View. And I'm not Mr. Perfect, okay? I'm not fucking Pollyanna, but I'm trying to learn from my mistakes in the past and be better and do better, which is another reason why every time you call these people dopes or losers.
Morons, I like that word too.
I like clench my anus because it hurts my taint. Anyways, I'm sad to see her go, even though she was a petulant child, spoiled, and just obnoxious.
I read that ABC begged her to stay.
I read that, yeah. Even
I believe it.
She was all of those things. She was great TV because there was such tension. And that's, for me, great television.
That's great television. People don't get that. They just want to get their venom out, and they just need to direct it at someone, and their lot in life needs to be reflected online. If you read somebody's feed, you could tell who they are. You could tell deep down the shittiness that's underneath. And you see that a lot with personalities like her. So what? She has a fucking opinion about something. Doesn't affect you either way. But no, people can't let it be. They gotta get that opinion out. Fuck her. She's a fucking bitch. Oh, give me a break. Come on.
Do you know who I think would be a great replacement for Meghan McCain? Like,
you?
No, not me. I wish.
First time you've ever said not me.
I mean, if I could do it virtually without moving to New York, or
oh no, for that gig you moved to New York, no problem. There's a bank to that.
Oh, I would only do it. I would only do it if they gave me like a 3-year deal or a 2-year deal, because like I don't want to uproot my kids and move them.
That's true. Yeah.
And then get fired after one season or something, you know. Anyways, Omarosa would be wonderful. I think.
Yeah.
She's like a lightning rod. She's what that show needs. And she's smart. Omarosa is a very smart woman. Yeah. I'm a fan.
I don't know that much about her. I really don't. I just know she was on the Apprentice, and that's really, and I know she had a short stint in the White House, which she dipped out of immediately, which
Smart.
I don't know if that means that she was in over her head or she just looked around and said, this is a shit show, even for me, a reality TV star. I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I think that's the latter. Also, James Corden, the Late Show host, is upset that he did not get Ellen DeGeneres' job. He apparently wanted that, but Kelly Clarkson is taking over her time slots. And her time slot. So he's upset. Only one song to talk about this week in our new music segment. Iggy Azalea released a new song that I'm 99.9% certain Booker did not hear. Did you hear it?
Make it 100, baby.
It's called I Am the Strip Club. And it's sad because it's just bad. And I say this as a fan of Iggy Azalea.
We always root for her, you know? I do too. I love her. I met her a couple of times. She's always sweet as fuck to me. So I always wish the best for her.
Yeah. Also wishing the best for Nene Leakes' husband, Greg. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum, reveals that his cancer has returned. So wishing him a full recovery. Last week, we spoke about Lil Nas X performing at the BET Awards. Well, a few days after that, Madonna took to Instagram story and shared a side-by-side top-bottom comparison of when she kissed Britney at the Video Music Awards and then when Lil Nas X kissed his backup dancer at the BET Awards. And she captioned it in her IG story, #DidItFirst. She pulled a Courtney Love. She had a Courtney Love, Olivia Rodrigo moment. And it just... It made me so sad because she could have acknowledged it and been flattered and also celebrated the moment and acknowledged the importance of that moment and how awesome it was. Also at that BET Awards, I didn't watch it, so I didn't know when we were recording last week, but Queen Latifah finally came out of the closet.
How did we not hear this? I didn't hear that anywhere.
You didn't hear that anywhere?
No, I did not know. This is the first time hearing of that. I mean, I knew she was... I actually know somebody that knows her pretty well and knows a little bit about her, but I was always shocked that she hadn't. Someone told me that she didn't, and I was like, oh, I thought that she did. So
not only had she not come out previously, but she had in the past denied that she was
really?
a lesbian or gay or bisexual or whatever. But she was honored with like a lifetime achievement award, and she thanked her partner of a decade, and she has a kid. She thanked their son as well. So congratulations.
Nice.
We're wrapping it up in 60 seconds. An unexpected new couple alert. Renee Zellweger is dating reality TV star Ant Anstead, which is unusual. He's like one of those home makeover. He's like a host. He's not like a reality TV star. I think that genre of reality TV is different. Like those home makeover shows, they're different kinds of reality stars. She's dating him. That's unusual. And finally, Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde are still together. In fact, they both went on vacation together to Italy. Everybody's been in Italy recently. I want to go to Italy. I want to take some calls as well. Let's take some calls.
Hello, I'm calling about Britney. Just want to give my 2 cents as a physician. It is extremely difficult to lock someone up for 13 years, basically. Practically impossible. There has to be a ton of paperwork, a ton of evaluations. There are a couple of things from her statement which I want to point out. She said at some point someone was there at all times, even when she had to change. That alone tells me danger to self. I mean, you can't just have someone, there at all times checking it out. Another issue is She said she wants this deal to be off without evaluation. She said it repeatedly. She knows she will not pass. There are much bigger issues, and I think Booker addressed it, than what it seems like. And there is a lot what we don't know in psych records. Unfortunately, I do feel sorry for Britney, and I think she needs a new guardian if she wants to. It's easily done through the court. It can be court appointed if she doesn't want her father taking care of it. That's fine. I think she should be given a choice. But again, bottom line, there is more to the story. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's denying that. There's a lot more to this story.
Yeah. Well, I think just to make judgments upon what we've heard thus far, I think is maybe the point she's trying to make.
Well, I think it's important to hear Britney and to believe her. Yes, to believe that she's in pain and that the change needs to happen.
Yeah. I don't think anybody, I was thinking about this. I don't think anybody that's in any sort of conservatorship or any sort of mental institution, I don't think they're happy about being in it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a good life any way that you look at it. I don't think being on some sort of drug, a medicine that changes your behavior bodes well for anyone's spirit.
But why should they, if it's just because of money?
Well, because they may need it, because maybe they're a danger to themselves or other people. That's why I keep saying, let's let a doctor decide.
But anybody could be a danger to anybody.
But Perez, come on. When you don't know what you're doing, and
you don't know if that's Britney.
I have no idea. I've always said that. But if this person has
let's keep it moving.
Behavior that they've maybe tried to hurt themselves or other people or whatever, it's dangerous. Another one.
Hey, I've thought a whole lot about what you all have talked about with Britney Spears, and here's my take on it. My thinking is she probably has bipolar, and here's why. And it's speculation, Booker. I'm not saying she has bipolar. I grew up with a mother that was bipolar. And when you're manic, it gives you this huge amount of energy. You just want to go, you want to spend money, you want to work out, you want to travel the world. And Kanye has bipolar. And when you take something like lithium is prescribed for people with bipolar when they're in a manic state, it's like hitting the mute button. You've got all this energy inside, but it just mutes it. It's gone. And you're very zombie-like. It makes you really groggy, tired. It's also really hard on your liver as well. From what it sounds like they did the conservatorship to protect herself, basically to protect her from spending tons of money, because that's another thing that people do with bipolar. Look at Kanye West. So I granted,
look at Kanye.
He's movement, but there's also, you want to take a look.
Yeah, but Perez, don't compare one person's illness to another. We don't know.
She brought him up.
Has one.
She brought him up.
Okay, but we're trying to make a point. Look at Kanye. Don't look at anybody.
She brought it up.
Okay, I'll say it to her then. Maybe we shouldn't compare the two. I think she's just telling a story. But look, I get your point. And I'm sorry about your mother. That sounds like an awful existence, and a lot to go through. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people have to go through this, and it sucks. Here we go.
Hi, Perez and Booker. It's Lindsay from Pittsburgh. I'm calling, obviously, about the Britney Spears heavily debated topic on the podcast this week. I just have two thoughts that I think Booker should consider, since he kept repeating how mentally ill she is and how she's diagnosed with all of these.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Love you, my Yinzers, but I never diagnosed her with anything. I never, ever repeated that she has anything. What was the words that fucking everybody's so tired of me saying? I don't know. So please go back and listen to the episode. I love you, my Yinzers from Pittsburgh, but come on. If you're going to quote me, please accurately quote me. Another call.
Hey guys, my name is Ada and I'm calling from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm calling because I wanted to say thank you to Booker for being the only voice of reason in the Britney Spears case. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I did move to Jacksonville, Florida from Las Vegas for work. And yes, it is horrible here, but Daytona is even worse. It makes me feel like I need penicillin every time I visit. Anyway.
So you're saying I'm not going to be the spokesperson for Florida anytime soon? I think that's what we've gotten from all of these people. It was just Daytona, folks. The rest of the state could be lovely. I don't fucking know. But I can tell you that Daytona is my taint.
Hey, I just wanted to call and talk about the Britney Spears situation. I'm usually on Booker's side with pretty much almost everything, but I can't help but to notice a very distinct and obvious undertone that you are not fully buying everything that Britney Spears is saying, and that is absolutely fine. We don't know what's going on. None of us know what's going on. Whether we choose to believe or not believe her is absolutely stupid, to be completely honest, because it's really none of our business and we don't know.
Right.
However, when are we going to start believing victims? I think that's a very valid question that we've been asking for a very long time. Not even only with Britney Spears, with many things. We tend to have an immediate doubt in our mind. And even if we try to...
What is she a victim of? Like, no one's stealing her money. No one's... where's the crime?
Britney said she has been abused. Those were her words.
Okay.
So she's a victim of abuse.
And I said over and over, I don't know if she has or hadn't been. I've never at any point said, I don't believe that she thinks all of these things are going on or that they are going on. They possibly could be. I keep going back to, I don't know. So I don't know. I actually don't kind of understand what she's getting at. Sorry, I don't understand your point of view there. I just don't. One last call. And sorry to everybody else that we didn't get to. My God, we probably got 100 calls on this.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys, this is Sophie calling from Chicago, and I just wanted to briefly comment on the Britney segment. Generally, I do agree with Booker, and I do think that social media and the internet jumps to conclusions very easily.
I'm the most sensible person
without having very many facts. But I did want to comment that it was very difficult as a woman to hear Booker go on and on about, I don't know, regarding Britney's testimony about her IUD and how she's forced to continue with contraception that she does.
Once again, didn't say that. I said, I don't know. And I could clear that up by exactly what I said earlier on this show. Could there be a reason that she was on this medication? And does it have to do with, I'm sorry, the dog has just completely distracted me. She's on this medication. And if she's on this medication, you can't get pregnant. Could it just be that? I don't know. I just go back to that one last time. Guys, I don't know. This has nothing to do with the woman and the choice. And I don't understand that point of view. I just don't. And if I'm missing something and it's my ignorance, then I apologize. But I don't know what I'm missing on this one by saying I don't know. Doesn't mean I don't support anyone or anything. I just don't know. I'm not a doctor. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening. If you want to call in, our number is 800-721-1185. Have a great week. We will see you next one.
Guys, have a good one. You almost made it. Take care, everybody.
Bye.